Well, g'day, flatties and globe defenders. It's Critical Think from Down Under. Thank you. That's very kind. Well, today I have great pleasure in introducing the creator of the final experiment. So let's have a big round of applause for Will Duffy.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. Now, the final experiment is a wonderful thing. And I was just wondering, though, do you think that we could have chosen something a little bit less expensive?
I wish we could have, but getting to Antarctica is not an easy task. But it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it to settle this debate once and for all.
And what do you see as the benefit in settling the debate?
Yeah, it's a great question. I get this one semi-frequently. I really do think a lot of time and energy and resources are being wasted on a topic like the shape of the Earth. And so one of the reasons I set out to create the final experiment was to just kind of put this issue to bed so we can move on and spend our time and energy on things that are more productive.
That's very good. I agree with that. Now, obviously, it's a very important experiment and one that I'm very keen to participate in, as you would know. And I'm not in the list of 24 invitees. That's understandable. I've been taking a bit of a break over the last 2 years. But where's Wally's on the list? And I'm his proxy, if you like. So I've got the GoFundMe going, as you know, and I just wonder whether you could talk about why people may want to fund a participant like myself.
Yeah, we're going to promote any crowdfunding. So we'll promote your GoFundMe and anyone else from either side, the flat Earth side or the globe side. We're going to go ahead and promote that. This is going to be a historic event. As far as I can tell, something like this has never taken place before. The final experiment takes both sides and it brings them together to perform this experiment together and to see which side is right. Both sides, flat Earth and globe, have a very strong opinion on whether or not there is a 24-hour sun in the south during the southern summer. On the globe model, because the globe model states that the Earth is tilted, there has to be what's known as a 24-hour sun in Antarctica in the southern summer. And so what that means is that if you get far enough south, the sun should never set, and it should actually do a circle all the way around you if you're in Antarctica. But the flat Earth model says, no, there's not a 24-hour sun. They believe that the sun is on a circuit, and in the southern summer, so say in December, that sun is essentially following the Tropic of Capricorn. And so in their model, the sun would actually never even go above Antarctica. It would stay above the Tropic of Capricorn. And so the sun could never do a 360 over your head on a flat Earth. It actually could never even be south of you. So if you're looking north, it could never be behind you. And so that's what we're going to go figure out. And I think in hindsight, a lot of people are going to wish they were there with us for this historic event. And so I love that you're crowdfunding and would encourage people to definitely donate. If a lot of people give a little bit of money to you, you'll be able to raise the funds needed and be there with us. And I'd love to have you there with us.
I'd love to be there too, of course. So, there are a lot of things in the world that we can observe that are very different for flat and globe. And so people are thinking, well, Antarctica, what's the thing with that? Why does it have to be Antarctica and not one of these 100 other things?
Yeah, Antarctica on the globe versus on a flat Earth is wildly different. They're wildly different. It's probably the greatest difference between the globe model and the flat Earth model is Antarctica. On the globe, it's a continent. It's really represents an island. It'd be obviously a very large island, but it's completely surrounded by water, and it would be at the bottom of the sphere. In the flat Earth model, it's not that at all. It's more of an ice wall that surrounds and encompasses all of the land masses and all of the oceans in the world that we live in. And so you've got a complete difference in shape. You've got a complete difference in size. It's going to be way, way bigger on the flat Earth model. And then you're going to have this significant difference with the sun. And so that's kind of why Antarctica is the place that we need to go to settle this debate.
Yeah, I think as another thing you've said in the past too, it's important that the flat earthers agree that this is a difference. There are a lot of the other things that we talk about. The flat earthers make up stories and their own science about what should be happening. But in your case, I think you've got the agreement that you need. That's correct, isn't it?
Yeah, the flat earthers are really the ones that have led the charge in Antarctica being the key place to settle the debate and to figure out which side is right. They've stated over and over and over again that this is the one place that will show us the true shape of the Earth. They've stated how badly they want to go to Antarctica. They've even stated that they're making plans to go there. And so I just kind of helped them kind of escalate the scenario here. And I'm actually going to be paying for one flat earther and one globe earther to go to Antarctica so that we can figure this out for good.
Wow, I mean, I admire you on this. I mean, put your own money into this. This is incredible, and I certainly, like I said before, I'm really keen to be a part of this. And one of the other reasons for me wanting to go to Antarctica as well, because I have this experiment about weight change versus latitude, and I travel all over the place, and just a simple set of scales, you can use it to test the rotation and the oblateness of the Earth. And of course, getting to Antarctica is a little bit difficult, but I'm missing the measurements in Antarctica. It's never been done before seriously. I know the GNOME experiment sent the GNOME down to Antarctica, but that experiment wasn't very serious. So I think this will be the first time that this experiment will be done seriously in Antarctica. So that's my thing.
Yes, science is about making predictions and then testing them, right? And so that's what we're doing. We're testing these two different models, the globe model and the flat Earth model. Help me understand what you'll be testing and what predictions you're going to make before we get to Antarctica with the scale and the weights.
Yeah, so I've got it documented already about what I'm expecting, and I've shown that in my launch video for my GoFundMe. So I've got the graph of what to expect. I've taken many measurements, and other people have taken measurements. They're plotted on the graph, and they do so far follow the globe. But there's this big missing bit. I made a prediction for Antarctica, and plus I'll be able to take a measurement at the southern end of Chile. And so it's all there. I don't know how that one's going to turn out, but I'm expecting it to be in line with the globe.
That's great. Yeah, it's almost like you've been putting together a puzzle and you've got the last two pieces to see if they fit.
Yes. So I've got a few questions here from the Wolfpack headquarters, and PhD Tony, he's said, now, is there a way to confirm the latitude and longitude using celestial observations, which maybe have to be done before the experiment?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know the answer right now, but if it has anything to do with stars, it would have to be done prior to us going, because again, we're going to see whether or not there's a 24-hour sun. I will say this: if we get to Antarctica and we can see stars, globe loses, we live on a flat Earth.
Yeah, and that's another thing I got to relay from the Wolfpack headquarters is that there's they're going to some of the Wolfpack will wager their channels on the sun being there and not setting, and I'll add my name to that list too. In fact, I'll delete my channel if the sun sets while you're there. No worries about that. So that's how confident I am. And but we'd like the flatties to match that, right? If their claims are proven false, so that's what we ask.
Okay, I appreciate your confidence. That's a big thing you're wagering, and I will. The Final Experiment YouTube channel will make a video at some point. I've been tracking what types of comments are coming from each side to try to measure the confidence level in their position. And so I will be mentioning the people, including yourself now, who have stated that they're willing to, delete their channel, rename their channel, switch their position based on if their model is falsified while we are there. So I really do appreciate that.
Right, thank you for that. And let me see, there's PhD Tony again has asked about will there be a time lapse set up to follow solar position?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what he's asking for there. We will be doing our best to get as much video, photos as possible. Having never been to Antarctica, it's going to be a tough ask because you've got the temperature, you've got the fact that we're trying to see if the sun is up for 24 hours. And then you've also got the fact that batteries don't last very long in cold temperatures. So we've got a lot of work to do. But one of the reasons we're planning this trip down there over 6 months in advance is so that we can iron out all those details. So we're encouraging people to send us suggestions that you think of. You can contact us through our website, which is thefinalexperiment.com, but it's got hyphens between the words, the-final-experiment.com. Please send us your suggestions. We are cataloging all of them, and we're going to do our best to make sure we've thought of everything and planned for everything before we get down there.
Yeah, I think that's the time-lapse photo, similar to what Wes Wally has found with Robert Schwartz photography down there at the South Pole. So maybe get a few ideas from Wally on that one.
Yes, great idea. And maybe even Robert. I'm going to try to reach him if I can as well. Since he's been there and done it, I'm sure he'll have some tips.
Yes, that's right. And another thing, PhD Tony had a few questions, so we've got another one. Here's will the setup be filmed? That is, if you've got experiments set up with cameras or whatever, and how will the compass point orientations be established? I know you cannot probably answer this now, but it's just something to think about.
Yeah. So I have thought about, cardinal directions and compasses. I don't know how compasses work yet down there, but we're going to be doing some things from South America in the southern tip in Chile there when we depart to fly to Antarctica. And so there's definitely some things in the works there so that we know which direction is which for sure.
Yeah, because I've flown over Antarctica in one of those flights in 2019, and at that time we flew over the magnetic South Pole, which was a long way away from the geographic South Pole. So there's complications with the magnetic field.
Yeah, we'll get that ironed out.
And so another suggestion or question or whatever you like to call it from PhD Tony about spectroscopic images taken to compare with the known solar emissions and taking filtered photographs of the sun so that people cannot claim it's a reflection or something. So he's just wondering, do we have something planned for that? Or
Yes, we do. So we're going to definitely be doing a bunch of solar photography down there. We're also looking for volunteers for people all around the world, no matter where you are, to help us with this as well. So the goal is to take solar photography while we're in Antarctica and compare it to solar photography taken at the same time in other areas in the world. So if this is something that you do and that's a hobby of yours, please reach out and you can participate in the experiment in this way.
Wonderful. So I'll just check my list here. And I think I've only got one more question there. So I'm not sure what this means, but if you have any instruments, clocks or other instruments, he's suggesting they be calibrated before and check the calibration after, which is probably sound scientifically. What do you
Yep. Yeah, that's great advice. I appreciate that. Lots to think about. Lots to think about.
Yes, indeed. So I sort of like out of questions. Is there anything you in particular you want to talk about or ask about?
Yeah, I just want to encourage people to spread the word about the final experiment. You can share our website. Our website has a countdown timer on it, which is a countdown to when we land in Antarctica. Also, follow us on YouTube. We release video updates frequently. We're going to be adding a new section to our website, which is going to link to interviews like this one. We're going to promote anyone who interviews me for the final experiment. So we will link to the interview itself. We'll link to your YouTube channel or your social media and even a website if you have one. And so that's kind of the big thing here is just kind of keeping everybody apprised of what's going on. And then again, if you do have ideas, because ideas will come to you, please send them our way. They will not be overlooked. We are taking every single suggestion to heart, and you can, have a say in what we're doing in that way. So
Wonderful, thank you. Well, I'm done and dusted, and I always like to keep it short and concise when I can. And so thank you very much, Will Duffy, for appearing here today, and I hope to see you in the flesh.
that'd be great. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.